So now that we're refreshed and relaxed, well, I am. Nick's going to take his shower while I vlog my discussion. Did you just take it?
Yes.
Oh, Nick just finished. Never mind. So I will go through my stuff here. We'll do a video on mine, and we'll go through Nick's stuff. And then Nick made a good executive decision because we're going to do Ichiran Ramen, but it's kind of far away. So we will do it tomorrow when we are in the Shinjuku area. And to do that, and so we're going to go to Odaiba, which has some potentially good food places, a ramen place and an izakaya place we might check out. It's also got what it supposedly is the Japanese version of the Statue of Liberty. It's just labeled Statue of Liberty, and the life-size Gundam figure from Gundam Unicorn is also in that area. So Odaiba is very nice. So we're gonna go there for food instead. It's also much closer. It's only 20 minutes away. Ichiran's 50 minutes away, and we're kind of tired from our disaster. Okay, so talk about a little bit about Akihabara. So initially I was like, Akihabara is kind of underwhelming, even though it's got wall-to-wall weeb shit. That's true, but it was like nothing I couldn't get in the States at a con. But the way it like changed my mind is that the amount of quantity it has is that just eventually, like, sure, I could get this potentially in the States, but then eventually you just start looking at like, okay, I might want that, I might want that, I might want that, I might want that. It just adds up. Even if there's no thing, it's like, I gotta have that, because like it's just something I can't get. It's just that, well, it's just wall to wall to wall to wall potential things you might want.
By sheer quantity, you're gonna find something that you want.
Because every store we went to had like 5 to 10 floors, and we went through like almost all of them. We only did like 4 or 5 stores, and we're going back tomorrow, so to finish our shopping. So we were relatively fiscally responsible today. In fact, I didn't even get close to spending what I planned to. So Nick and I tomorrow are gonna swap Muv-Love figures for some spending, and then I might get. I'm not gonna get the Taiga, but I'm gonna get some smaller stuff, and then I'm gonna potentially get the Kyoko figure from Madoka Magica. That was pretty cool. I'm a little worried though because I tend to break accessories, and that had a big ass spear. But anyway, let's talk about visual novels. So my biggest goal for Akihabara was visual novel merch, which is not going to happen. Like, Nick made a good decision to hide that picture of the thing we got with it, because visual novels have not gotten rid of the image they have that they are porn stuff, like dating girls, and then reach whatever home run, reach a home run with them. We have not gotten rid of that degenerate mentality. I don't read Arrow games anymore. My favorite story is Umineko. There's not a single choice. Well, there's one choice at the end, but it's not a date a girl sort of choice. It is a thematic choice. It's a kinetic visual novel. There are no girls to romance. It's just a story that is highlighted by the usage of having text on the screen plus images and sound. Like, Umineko without sound is just an atrocity. I just can't imagine it. So that's why I love visual novels. I love some visual novels. Visual novels are a medium where I think the majority of it is ass. And the very peak of it is my favorite stories. White Album 2, Umineko, and then the one I have here, Tsubihime. So for the philosophy folk who potentially might read this, not read this, please don't read this. For the philosophy folk who are potentially watching this, if you are familiar with Erika's dissertation, I think part of it was inspired or helped informed by Tsubihime, because her dissertation was about multiple personality disorder, which is a plot point in Tsubihime. So if you don't know, Tsubihime is a fictional interpretation of Wittgenstein's Tractatus. It's an interesting sort of take, because the Tractatus, we like try and imagine interpreting that, good luck with that, is a fill language work at its core, is what I would define it as. Like, trying to make a metaphysics from an understanding of metaphysics of language is maybe how I would attempt to talk about the Tractatus, even though Wittgenstein can't write like a normal human being with his little annotated things instead of paragraphs. The Tsubihime is not about language, really. It is sort of the metaphysical interpretation of the Tractatus. So the end stuff of the Tractatus, like ladders, throwing it away and stuff like that. Now, I love Tsubihime. I'd probably put it my 3rd favorite visual novel of time, Umineko and White Album 2. I recommend it to absolutely no one, because in addition to some great content, it has some extremely self-indulgent content, which is like shock value, obscenity stuff. So there's some of the normal kinky stuff in visual novels. It's pretty short material to get through. Honestly, not all that interesting. But it's got a lot of like horror-esque sex material in it, where like it's brutal stuff, torture scenes and stuff like that, meant to shock you. There's a lot of indulgent stuff like that, and so I don't think it adds much to the work. Some of it's and because of the trippy nature of Tsubihime perspective stuff is interesting, but a lot of it is just trying to scare you. Not scare you, make you feel gross. And it succeeds. It succeeds in that. It's not fun to read some of Tsubihime.
I can stomach a lot, but I couldn't read some sequences. I had to skip because it was so, like, upsetting.
Yeah, like, some of it's just straight up gross. And so for that reason, I don't recommend Tsubihime to anyone, even if it is one of my favorite stories. But Erica's made of sterner stuff, and she was able to get through it. And if you're able to get through Tsubihime, there's a lot of good material in it, too. Okay, but that's why not going to buy any more visual novel merch, per se. I saw what the visual novel merch was, and it is not stuff I'm going to bring through customs. It's not stuff I really want in my apartment, either. Okay. But shout outs to the older guy running the place. I asked for Sakura no Uta. He did his darndest to try and find it for me. It wasn't there. I knew it wasn't there. It'd be on the shelf. Someone bought it already. But he sat there forever to try and buy it. Okay. My figure purchase is Ryogi Shiki from Karen no Kyokai. So Nick has Fate Stay Night over there. We'll talk about that. So this was the first Type Moon work, and then got an anime adaptation later. I already have a figure of her, but I wanted the kimono one with the sword. I already managed to break the sword a little bit. Thankfully, the glue, this was easy. I managed to get the hilt working, so I can just glue this one back. So this is the most expensive thing I bought, but it's relatively affordable. This is less than $100 for a pretty high quality figure. And so I love Karen no Kyokai, so I got a figure there. Then let me unfurl this. So this is, here we go, Nick, you can help me out here. So Origairu is top 5 anime for me. So I'll give my Origairu rant when I go to Chiba, which is where it takes place. Not depicted here is my boy Hiki, who is my favorite character of all time, because we share a similar mentality that lonerdom is the way to go, and that it's a sort of like armor we wear, that people who feel strong emotions, get involved with others, are like hurting themselves in significant ways, and that we try and justify being alone with that sort of mentality, which is why Hiki's my favorite character. Unfortunately, he's a dude, and otaku merch is not aimed at things with dudes on them.
Unless it's a certain kind of...
unless it's like aimed at this. So we got all the girls, all his potential romance options. Here's my queen, Yukino. I will get more stuff of her tomorrow. It's hard to find this at cons in the States, because the cons in the States focus mostly on shonen stuff and highly popular stuff. Origairu is very popular in Japan, so they're more willing to have a ton of merch. I saw a ton of Origairu merch, but I want to get a wall scroll of that. Okay, and then lastly, my stuff is I got from Laid Back Camp, very wholesome slice of life anime about camping, which I would never do, but I'm a big fan of the character Shimarine. I got a No Camp, No Life little thing I can stick onto my fridge, but I would never camp, so I have no life, and I'm never afraid to admit that. And then I got a very adorable little shirt here. So that's my stuff, and then we'll do Nick's vlog. Okay, and so for once, I am not going to do the talking, and here we're gonna look at Nick's stuff. No, so Nick spent quite amount of money.
Don't tell my mom.
Okay, like if
sorry, Mom.
If Mommy and Daddy Vlaho, sorry, Christy and Dave, if they see this, I hate to break this to you about your son, but okay, go ahead, Nick, take us away.
So as the paragon of quality over quantity.
Okay, I only got 4 things, mister. I have one
Well,
more.
normally at cons, you're the one with like a folder size.
Yeah, I get a lot of
like,
art.
art.
I get a lot of things at cons.
Yeah, you need to make sure you have no square footage of the wall. It needs to be all poster. So, of course, start with Fate Stay Night. Can't get this legally in the States. You have to buy a physical copy and patch it.
Yeah.
So
Nick and I are bad people. When we read this in undergrad or high school, undergrad, we pirated it probably.
Yeah. we sailed the seas, but I'm righting a wrong. I've always wanted to get a physical copy of this visual novel.
Yeah, because this is just the original OG release.
Yeah, and this is probably in my top 5
visual novels. It's a great visual novel.
I think the I don't know, I like the way that the thematics and the story meld together. Tickles me pink in a way that, you know, their stories.
Panning out so we can see you. There we go.
It's hard to explain, but
well, it's cool to get Fate before it took off with like Grand Order, which is a gacha game.
Right.
So this is the original Fate Stay Night, like before it became like a mega franchise of like selling merch and stuff. So like the original story stuff.
So this will probably kick off my my reread of Fate, my 3rd one. And of course I'll have to go through the internal debate of whether Heaven's Feel or Unlimited Blade Works is my favorite route. I kind of waffle between the two.
I've changed my mind. I'm an Unlimited Blade Works guy now.
Yeah.
Heaven's Feel is the better route.
Yeah.
But it's the better story.
Yeah.
But I have more fun reading Unlimited Blade Works.
Well, I think that's something I like about Fate is that whether Unlimited Blade Works, I think Heaven's Feel is probably the thematic answer.
It's the capstone of Fate.
Capstone to what its thematics, but I feel like Unlimited Blade Works is, in its own way, its own answer. It's not. I mean, Fate Route is just.
Fate Route's not great.
Not great, but it's the starting point, right? It's the foil to the other 2 routes, right?
Yeah.
You need your stereotypical.
Well, Heaven's Feel, the ending is doing so much work with the ending sequences.
Yeah.
Like Unlimited Blade Works, I have more fun throughout. Because like Heaven's Feel is like a little bit of a drag until some of the later stuff. I mean, it's got the best ending portions.
Right.
But and it's less actiony. I like the vibes more. So if you don't know about Nasir, the visual novel writer, so he writes action now. That's not his strength. His strength is horror. His strength is horror. And Heaven's Feel's got a little bit of that. Hime, if you read the original visual novel for that, it's an atmosphere piece. That's his real strength, is atmosphere pieces. Before he did the summon fictional versions of historical figures to fight each other shtick.
Yeah. Got my gotcha.
Oh yes.
Just a little thing.
A little Megami. I think I got that on.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't get the Megami on, but we got you opening it on vlog already.
I wanted to. I felt like I needed to truly participate in weeb culture. I needed to get at least one gotcha game. So here we got.
I'll close in on her.
Shinobu.
Kiss Shot is
still. It's Kiss Shot. I think she's still Kiss Shot.
She's Kiss Shot in this phase.
Kiss Shot at this point.
From Monogatari.
And the biggest reason why I got it, outside of how it's a beautiful figure and the detail is sublime on this, the stand, it's really got the way it draws upward as you look at it. It's fantastic. I already have a Shinobu and a full-size Kiss Shot figurine, and I felt like getting this completes the trio.
Her shtick is that the more blood she sucks, the more she ages up, like to her original vampire form. So this is like a middle stage from a little bit of blood from Araragi, from the main character.
And Shinobu's one of my favorite characters.
We went to Mr. Donuts. That's her shtick.
We went to Mr. Donuts.
That's her shtick. She loves Mr. Donuts.
And I just felt like it all came together. And of course, we've got the piece of resistance.
Here, let me. Okay, there we go.
We got a Miku figuring here.
So the camera doesn't get this one to justice. This is a beautiful figure.
One thing Miku is, I like listening to Miku music, but I've always appreciated her design. Always thought her design, I just think it's really cute.
She's a Vocaloid for the normies all watching this.
But I saw this figurine and knew immediately that I needed to have it.
Well, this is actually a really good deal because this thing is massive, and if you got it in the States, it'd be like $500 at a con.
Oh yeah.
So Nick actually got I'm not sure if I should say the price to scare mommy and daddy Vlahos away, but in terms of figures we have bought, he got a very good deal. This is very fiscally responsible for Nick, honestly.
So the best part about this figurine, I think, is it comes with the music box.
Yep, there we go.
So you can twist this up. put this in here. And if you wanted, you could spin it, but that's one thing I wish I had a little knob on the side that you could twist it. But
if you didn't notice, it's a vinyl record there.
But yeah, I'm really happy with my purchases today.
We got
figuring out how I'm gonna package it. Getting here is gonna be a little interesting, but we'll figure it out.
We will. Okay, and now we're gonna go to Odaiba. We're gonna see you around there. We're gonna get some food.